What's going on, everybody? This is Stubbs from Retro Handhelds, and today we are going to go over the new PowKiddy X18S Ultra. It's the new variant in black. We're going to compare it against the old gen, as well as the gold standard for clamshells in the Android space to me, which is the GPD XD Plus. So without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, brand new package from China showed up today on my doorstep, and I said, oh, yes, it's that new PowKiddy. That new PowKiddy hotness. What do we have in the box here? Okay, all right. I mean, the shell looks exactly the same from the old style. Let's open it up. Ooh, I just pinched my finger. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Be careful with that, folks. I had my finger right there and I just snapped it open, so excited. I've fallen for this trap many times, including on the old model. Now, we improved the old model by doing some mods to it, such as putting 6 to 8 layers of scotch tape underneath these face buttons and swapping out the D-pad for a DS Lite D-pad, putting a better RG350 membrane underneath here so it has better action, better travel, and replace these analogs with Vita joysticks. Combine that with Black Seraph's Lineage ROM, and this thing is not too shabby with that Android T618 processor in it. It'll fly, it'll play up to even 2D Nintendo Switch games, but we're not here to talk about this one so much. We're here to talk about the new one, the Ultra. So what's Ultra about it? Okay, so far, L1 and R1, we'll come back to the box. L1 and R1 feel good in comparison to L1 and R1. Here, I believe they're exactly the same. Nice and clicky compared to the old one. Yeah, L1, R1 definitely more clicky. L2, R2 actually are more clicky too. Okay, I think there's some minor improvements there. And L3 and R3 click in. That's huge. Of course, we didn't have that here. That feels pretty good. Let's see how these joysticks hold up in action. Now's the big thing though. Did they improve after all this time? Did PowKiddy actually improve the D-pad or the face buttons? Now, I don't have stock in here, so marginally improved if I recall correctly. Face button. Improvement here. Okay, this is definitely an improvement. It's still too close to the shell for my liking, but it does have better travel, it depresses better, and I don't think modifications needed. It's actually better even than my modded X18S original here, so a bit more satisfying depression there in the button. They also replaced the PowKiddy name with just a logo. That's a little classier, and I like that. All in all, so far, looking good. Let's compare it to the GPD XD Plus. Okay, of course, on the GPD XD Plus, you don't have clickable L3, R3, but you do have separate buttons for it. Face buttons here, I've modded mine to have a GPD Win 2 face buttons. Love the clickiness on the L1, R1, L2, R2. Yeah, I mean, these face buttons are just so satisfying. Yeah, the XD Plus definitely takes the cake here, but this is definitely an improvement. So Ultra is an improvement over the Gen 1. Still like XD Plus better. I do like the joysticks in this better. These are still comfy. D-pad has never been a strong suit on the XD line. Even still, that has pretty nice travel, and I believe the membranes have been replaced in this unit too. So yeah, on this, the D-pad, a marginal improvement from Gen 1. I'm more impressed with face buttons. Let's turn it on and see what's inside. Okay, so this comes with the stock ROM from PowKiddy that has a Happy Chick. So this could really benefit from, of course, getting Lineage on, then we can explore everything that it has to offer. Oh, it does have the Play Store, so that's good to know. Handle mode. PS3 or Xbox. I like Xbox. Clamshell LED. LED frequency. The slower, it's very dramatic. The ordinary? Where are these LEDs? Is that the top here? Does this light up? Oh, it does leave fingerprints. Look at that. Not so much a fan of that, although the plastic feels good. And of course, we got to do the vent smell. Doesn't really have a vent smell. You know, it's not a Windows handheld. It doesn't have a vent. So it just has speakers. The speaker grills are good. They might taste good. I mean, let's do a mouthfeel. Overall, solid. Not too bad. I would say that definitely gives just a hint of okra. And let's ADD our way back over here. What's in the box? Oh, and here it's a red D-pad. That would have been cool. Color instructions. I like this new trend of color instructions lately. This is awesome. Okay. Well, that is definitely a USB-C cable. It's fine. I'm gonna probably leave it in the box for all time. All right, let's see what we can play out of the box here. Definitely want dark theme on. Eye comfort, won't turn that on just yet. Brightness at 83. Now we're in actual Android over here. Default apps. Home app, here we go. Quick step. Oh, thank the good Lord. We're in regular Android. Never, ever, ever again. I guess let's see what Beyond Youth is. Let's try out the L3. L3, oh my gosh, L3 jumps. Their demo game makes use of L3. That's actually smart if that was planned out. Benefit of doubt. Oh, you can rewind? Okay, this is actually a pretty cool game. Do you think this was designed by PowKiddy, this game? That'd be nuts. Oh, look at this, I'm this ladybug and I'm pushing this house over. How are we gonna get that nut out of there? Does it come with a micro SD card? Step 1. No. We should talk about that though. So on top, yep, micro SD slot. You got your mini HDMI. You got your USB-C. Bottom, you do have a headphone port. And we're late in the game here, but let's talk about specs. Comes with Android 11, a 5.5-inch 720 by 1280 IPS screen. It does come with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. That should last you a while. 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Type-C for charging, of course. It has that T618 8-core 64-bit dual-core ARM Cortex A75 processor, up to 2 gigahertz. GPU has the Mali G52. We got 4 gigs of RAM on board, 64 gigs of internal storage. Wi-Fi is going to be 802.11 AC, so that's 5 gigahertz. Bluetooth 5.0, mini HD functions. We have a sensor, a gyroscope, hall switch. It says hall switch. No, that's not called out anywhere. Come on. All right, back to the handheld. I don't think any games come on here. Let's connect to Wi-Fi. All right, we're on the Wi-Fi now. By the way, ergonomics are exactly the same as the last one. I didn't really go over that because I didn't feel it was too necessary. I mean, it's the same. It's comfy. It's big. You know, it could be rounded right here. My very favorite reset collection. Hav gave me a special build here so I can sideload for you all. Please do check out Reset Collection. If you're a fan of RH or Reset, becoming a patron of RH will get you a free copy of Reset Collection if you join at least the $5 tier. So let's see what we can do with Skyline Edge. If you want that bleeding edge, get those nightlies, the latest greatest, I recommend signing up for Skyline Edge. There's the option to set Reset as your launching app. And we're not going to do that just yet, but that is a good idea once we're done. Let's do Quick Step always for now. Let's just jump straight in the Switch. Why not? Seize the day. How about Celeste? It's running. Well, the GPD XD definitely can't play Switch games. XD Plus anyways. Does this go back further? So it goes like that or like this. I mean, this does start to leave some not fingerprints, but it gets warm. Now the last PowKiddy X18S also got warm because they didn't apply any thermal paste to the CPU on some of the units. Or rather, it was just of low quality, and so it tended to get pretty hot. This time, I mean, we're pushing with Nintendo Switch. We're definitely pushing. I don't know with Celeste, but it's warm, but it's not hot, so there's an improvement there. And it's pretty, I mean, it's pretty comfy. So here's a platformer that seems to run. There is a surprising amount of performance kick in this T618 processor. This is a processor that's been kind of blowing my mind a bit for how much it costs. You know, the X18S and the X18S Ultra are in that $170 to $180 price range if you buy it through AliExpress or through PowKiddy.com. So far, I'm really enjoying this, especially because of the face buttons. I'm enjoying this more than their original model. The D-pad's serviceable. It reminds me of the XD. Oh god, this handheld that so far feels like some effort was put into it. I don't think that they revolutionized it from the last iteration at all, but it's surprising how good it feels to have L3 and R3 on this. Working well for me. The face buttons are working. Oftentimes we rag on PowKiddy products. We don't take pleasure in that. It's just we keep hoping that they release a good product and we won't get disappointed the next time. Just gotta swap the B and the A button. Hey, what the hell? Oh my... Literal Cheeto Dust. Literal Cheeto Dust. The paint of the A button is already worn off. Cheeto, Steve! That is now going to be a non-colored A. Kind of harshes my mellow. Is that what the kids still say that? Now there's paint chips in this. Oh shit! I always go into hoping that we will get something that's well designed and well thought out, a good QA process, because there's been some hits. There's been the V90, there's been, you know, the RGB 10 Max, the Max 2. There's been these devices that are really great. But I know this is a small thing, but it's like it's advertised to have these colored face buttons, and after just a little bit of playing, that's obviously not the case, and that's kind of a bummer, you know. Ooh, we got Rumble working. Rumble feels good, and I'm not surprised that we're hitting 48, 50 FPS. I'm not seeing any increase in performance, by the way, from the original model, and we're hitting 60 FPS in Alien Hominid. This is a fun and violent game. This is playing great. Buttons, you know what? The face buttons are definitely unique. I'll say that. But they work, and they're pretty comfy. Should we push it a bit? So, knowing that Mario Kart was struggling, I know Tony Hawk is going to struggle even worse. This is a game that would just crash out on the Logitech G Cloud. Oh, damn. I mean, so far it's not. If it's going to crash, it's going to crash right here. Not full speed, but farther and faster than I could get from the G Cloud. Okay, I can feel the X18S getting a little warmer now. This is working really, really well, everybody. I am curious to see if we can get a little bit higher resolution, though, because it's a little bit blurry. So far, we're maintaining full speed. Is this not mapped right out the gate? That's the question. Is there a screen mapper? We should look if there's a screen mapper. Battery saver. Screen recorder. Ooh, it has a screen recorder. Has an ultra saving battery mode. That's great. Focus mode. Bedtime mode. Dark theme. Data saver. Nightlight. I really like that there's a nightlight. We're gonna have to test this out. How dim does it get? Let's check that out too while we're at it. That's nice. That's nice and dim. That is nice and dim. And let's try out nighttime mode, see if that works. Oh, that's lovely. Location off. Come on, PowKiddy. Unfortunately, there's no touch mapper built in. Hollow Knight here is running, I believe, at full speed in high graphics mode. This is a newer port as far as I know. But I mean, this is comfy, guys. This is, again, the ergonomics on this is better. Suppose we should look at front ends too real fast. So yeah, reset collection, awesome choice. We won't worry about scraping right now, but that's just one I like. Launchbox as well is freaking awesome too. We could try game streaming, but I'm going to save that for the full review as well as Dreamcast, and 3DS will be on the full review. We're going to wait on that one today. Okay, so let's summarize this here. We have the X18S and the X18S Ultra. X18S, while it works and you can make it usable and functional, it has some downsides. No clickable L3, R3, face buttons by stock don't feel great, same with D-pad. Right out the gate, the X18S Ultra, better D-pad, better face buttons, marginally better D-pad, L1, R1, L2, R2, all seem a little bit improved there. Clickable L3, R3, love that. No change to the shell, just the logo there. Speaker quality, by the way, sounded pretty good, and the screen quality looks pretty good, so I'd say a solid 8 out of 10 on the screen, and the speakers sounded nice and big. Either way, again, that's going to be dangerous when closing the lid, so be careful so you don't injure yourself, but in my mind, performance does, of course, outclass the GPD XD Plus. I want to show more performance in the full review for the XD Plus and see if it even has a chance of playing 2D Switch. Maybe that's a possibility, because I still love the ergonomics, the face buttons, D-pad, everything except for the joysticks I like more on the XD Plus. Screen quality in XD Plus is not amazing, but it's definitely comparable to the X18S. And I still, to this day, I still recommend the XD Plus for anybody who's interested in a really comfortable clamshell handheld that is multifunctional and honestly plays everything pretty great up until Dreamcast and PSP. I think the screen is a little bit brighter on the new X18S. Definitely seems brighter, right? It is. It's definitely a few nits brighter compared to the XD Plus. The XD Plus is still the brightest. But yeah, I'm a fan so far of the black X18S. Be interested to see in the full review what I'm thinking. Again, don't love that the paint's chipping. Don't love that L3 and R3 are having issues in some of the emulators, mainly RetroArch, so we'll have to see what that's about. But yeah, we need to get a version of Lineage loaded on here, and we need to dive in more and try out streaming and everything else that this bad boy can do, but this is, so far, is a solid recommend from me. Go ahead and pick one up in the affiliate link in our description, which supports our channel and what we're doing here. We can't thank you all enough. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have a review at some point in the future soon. Android emulation is coming so far that it warms my heart to see this. And with that, this has been Stubbs with Retro Handhelds. We can't wait to see you next time. Take care of your handhelds, everybody, and each other.